How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Almost having a lovely day. Bengals 3-4, Eagles 4-2. Originally the 425 slated game this week, flexed out of that. Bears Commanders take that spot. Bengals Eagles go to 1 o'clock in Cincinnati. Do with that as you will. Gonna be an interesting game. Interesting matchup. You know, both of these teams going into the season on Super Bowl expectations. Both these teams kind of having a little bit of steam under the coaching hot seat these past couple weeks. Nonetheless, both these teams coming in here looking like they're starting to get things figured out. Eagles get the win over the Giants and a big win. Bengals win a big game in Cleveland, a place Joe Burrow and company has not won. And find a way to win that game and find a way to get that defense figured out, even with the return of Nick Chubb. Something they're going to need ever so bigly this week is another big slowdown of the run game, because they're going to go up against the second ranked rush attack in the league. Saquon Barkley just having a massive game, another massive game. He is enjoying in a big way running behind that Philadelphia Eagles offensive line right now. 170 plus yards once again on the ground last week, and it continues to be a dominant force once again in this league. And that was going to be an interesting one, right? Because you kind of wonder, well, what was going to be the difference when you lost your probably Hall of Fame center over the offseason? And again, you know, run game's actually gotten better. Of course, you got Barkley now. Pass game has declined a little bit here, but a big part of that is it's been pretty well documented in the past what the difference this offense is, the difference Jalen Hurts is with and without AJ Brown on the field. He has been missing games this season. They are 1-2 without him. They are 3-0 with him on the field. Big difference. And as expected, out of a guy like AJ Brown, to say the very least. Even last week, though, Jalen Hurts not having the biggest game through the air, but if the run game's there, the run game's there. And I think that's going to be the ultimate thing here is you look at this Eagles team facing a Bengals defense, and it's going to be kind of a barometer test for both of these teams at this point in junction of the season. Are they starting to turn that corner? Is the momentum building like we think it is? Or do we both just beat up on the New York Giants and, you know, the Browns kind of situation here? So that's the big question. Little test drive for these two teams. And I look at, this is a game that's very much about the matchups. Trey Hendrickson, we know this man is a game wrecker. We know this man gets pressure on a quarterback, one of the best in the league to be doing it today. But he's going to be going up against two of the premier tackles in the NFL today as well, in Lane and Jordan over here. Is Trey going to find a way to get home? This is an Eagles offensive line that is not as good in the pass block game as that has been in this past. Some of the interior work there could be better. Currently, if it wasn't for the bye week, you look at on an average basis, this is a team that would be top 5 in the league in sacks allowed. They had the bye week that puts them down a little bit lower. But again, Bengals, it's not the interior, that defensive line that specializes in hitting the quarterback. It's the exterior. So you wonder, do the Eagles win that matchup? Do the Bengals find a way to draw up some stunts, get Trey Hendrickson on the inside of these guys a little bit? Or do they find a way to at least find a way to get him to draw some doubles, weaken that inside a little bit, get other guys, get a BJ, get Sheldon, get some of these guys with some pressure on the quarterback, pending they're all okay and healthy to play this game? I think I'm going to have to give that one to the Eagles. How about this wide receivers matchups here? This is an Eagles team. Again, we talk about not being tested. The last time the Eagles seen an offense similar to the Bengals, and now, again, better offensive line. But if you want to play similar to the Bengals, it was Tampa Bay, where you had Godwin, you had Evans, two elite wide receivers to deal with throughout the game. Baker threw for well over 300 yards in that one. Could we see some of the same in this game? Burrow moves that football up and down the field. Jamar and T. Higgins playing some of their best ball. Jamar Chase leads the league in receiving yards. T. Higgins continues to make impactful catch after impactful catch. Both guys playing on contract years. You know they want that money. And you know that's a little bit of an added incentive for guys. But at the end of the day, they were already elite players. At the end of the day, Joe Burrow is already playing some of his best ball of his career. Still playing some of the best ball of his career right now. And I think that's going to be a problem for this Philadelphia Eagles defense. I think the Bengals are going to find a way to move the football up and down the field. It's going to be a little different than these last couple weeks where the offense is kind of stagnated. This is going to be a game, I think the Bengals are going to have to put some points up. I don't think there's going to be a lot of punting in this one, because I think the Eagles are going to dominate in the trenches for the most part. We'll see how it goes defensively. I think they have a pretty good day in the trenches. And with that being said, the Bengals are going to have to put up points because our defense may not be able to get off the football field. And I think, again, they got the weapons. They got the matchups there to do it. And then you look at, again, speaking of the wide receiver matchups, while we're there, you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Bengals, it's been a while since they've had to deal with something like that in the secondary. We know that Dax Hill was figuring things out, playing a lot better football. Unfortunately, the injury came along. Now DJ Turner's here. And DJ Turner, he's making some plays. He's in position. The problem is he's not, the awareness isn't quite there. He's still not getting his head turned around. He's still kind of just reckless. He's kind of reckless with his body, causing some big penalties these last couple of weeks. Will he clean that up this week? Hopefully. You got to, again, remember, young guy, he'll figure it out over time. It's the awareness is ever so important, especially in games like this one where you feel like it could be a one possession game. It could come down to the wire. The last thing you want to do is cause those last minute penalties that helps us escalate this football team down to football field and close it out. In this game, it does have the feel of, hey, winner's probably going to win, could possibly reel 5 or 6 off in a row. It just feels like that kind of momentum game. We talk so much about the mid-season. It comes week 7, week 8. That's when teams start to really figure it out. You know, teams go out there and they might lose a couple in a row. We get to the beginning of the season, Bengals known to do that. Teams lose a couple in a row, 5 and 6. It feels like, oh, what's happening? All of a sudden, this team felt unbeatable, and now they lost, like the 49ers last season. Now they lose 3 in a row. And then notorious, that's when you start to see these, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 game win streaks reel off. Right around this time of the season, Eagles win are going to be two straight wins. Look at the saying, hey, we beat the Giants, okay, but then we beat the Bengals. This defense looking like it's starting to clamp down a little better than we thought it was. And then the Bengals, on the other hand, said, hey, we beat the Browns and Giants. 3 and 4. Now we're 4 and 4. Right back in the thick of things, just beat the Eagles. It's a tough football team. It's a tough football team to stop on the defensive side of the football. The defense did it. You know what? They figured it out. Start of the season is getting up 30, 41. Now, all of a sudden, 3 games in a row, defenses look stagnant. They've looked great out there. With Joe Burrow coming, we were off the rest of the season. Maybe lose a couple to the division. Bengals specialty. Besides that, could reel off the rest of the season. You got to feel good about things here. Ultimately, I'm looking at it and saying it's the trenches and it's the weapons of the Eagles that are really, really getting to me right now. I think the Bengals secondary, it's still not there. Might be by the end of the season. I just don't think they're there to match up against this team. The run game's too good. The pass game's too good. And they're too good at controlling the clock. This team would love to control the clock all game if they could. And that'll happen if the Bengals defense can't get off the field. But we've seen them play strong the last couple weeks. I think it does stay within one possession. I think there could be a couple of crucial plays in this game. Whether it be the penalties, whether it be somebody putting the ball on the ground. It may just come late in the game. I'm going to say Eagles 27, Bengals 24. I love y'all's thoughts. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.